Hello everyone, we have recently been learning more and more about the members of the Fatui organization, about whom we previously knew very little. Over the past few days, we have received a substantial amount of new information about Columbina and Capitano. And today, we have some additional details to share about Pierro, who is expected to be the director of the Fatui. Similar to the information we've received about Columbina and Capitano, we now know more about Pierro's age, personality, and Voicelines from his trial. Without further ado, let's dive into this new information. It's important to note that the source of this data is the same individual, HomDGcat, whose findings have also been reposted by outlets like PTL and Team Mew. While this information is considered reliable, it may still be subject to change as it could be early or incomplete. Pierro, also known by his codename The Jester, is the director of the Fatui and the very first member as well as a harbinger of the organization. He has personally recruited several other harbingers, including Il.Tor, Scaramouche, and Signora. In terms of his identity, Pierro appears and sounds like a 55-year-old person, but he is actually 550 years old. He is the first Lord Harbinger, and his voice is that of a dignified, deep-sounding middle-aged man. Interestingly, his political views are said to be neutral. To better understand this neutrality, it's helpful to consider another piece of information about the harbingers. Apparently, they are divided into two factions, radicals and conservatives. The conservatives generally believe in the status quo or slow, orderly change, while the radicals are extremely dissatisfied with the world and want to reshape it quickly, by any means necessary. Specifically, Capitano, Columbina, Pulcinella, and Sandrone are considered conservatives, while Tor, Arlecchino, and Pantalone are radicals. Pierro, on the other hand, is neutral. As for Tartaglia, his faction is currently unknown, but based on the A Winter Night's Lazo trailer, he may be aligned with the radical group. Turning our attention back to Pierro, he is described as a steady, old man who seems to have an exceptional ability to see through people. His speech is typically concise and to the point, and when issuing commands, his demeanor takes on a tinge of aggression directed towards his enemies. He is highly manipulative and can sow chaos in one's mind with his polite yet pointed words. Pierro is seen as an unfathomable leader and a relatively decorous adversary. Regarding his trial lines, the first one states, "Each one of us has borne witness to the absurd callousness of the foundational principles of this world. So, let us don our masks in mockery of the world as we go forth and rewrite the rules of destiny." The second line reads, "You claim that you have no tears left to cry, no blood left to shed, but surely this is because you have filled yourself with fire." Here, Pierro seems to have observed Signora's hidden pain beneath her fiery exterior and called it out, thereby gaining her trust. The third line says, "Her Majesty understands every one of my colleagues and allows them to have their own desires. Therefore, I only inspect their work and do not pry into their personal lives." This suggests that Pierro is aware of the clashes between the two Harbinger factions but chooses not to interfere. That's all for today's video, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get the latest updates.